Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you with my latest share for Cut to You, and I'm featuring this cut file called Geo Heart, and you can see it's in the background there. I'm going to say right off the bat, if you have read the title, it probably does read incorrectly as per English. However, our surname is Sweetman, and writing Sweetman just didn't make sense. So as you can see, I have cut my cut file in black cardstock, and I have backed that with some plain vellum. I've done a little bit of work off camera, so this layout, once I got started, took about 40 minutes, so I was really impressed with that. I have got these two pieces of pattern paper. They're both from Paige Evans's, I think, most recent collection. I have no idea what it's called, but I wanted to use the thickers that came in that collection. And then I realized I had a couple other papers. So I wanted to go with a pink and blue color scheme, being that I am scrapbooking some more of the professional photos that we had done earlier in the year of my husband's side of the family. And we've got a photo of all of the boys in the family and a photo of all of the girls in the family, and I thought I would include my own stupid, silly sense of humour in this page because it's fun, and my kids will be very quick to tell you that I am silly and come up with the worst jokes, but they laugh every time. So the title in its entirety is All the Sweet Girls and All the Sweet Boys, all the sweet mans. So it's silly but totally appropriate, and I just ran with it. I was inspired and I just had to go with it. I have got all my alphabets already on a ruler to add to my layout. I knew that I would have to customize my colors a little bit, so I've done all of that off camera. I'm using some Ellie's Studio Jane alphas that I have used Copic markers to color to match the lightest pink on the pink side and the darkest blue on the blue side. And you can see I've got I used the leftover black cardstock from where I cut the black heart from as the border around my layout, and then I've got my two. They're a little bit smaller than 6x12 inch pieces of pattern paper, but we'll call them 6x12 because it's easy. I've added black ink to them, and then I forgot to add black ink to my photo, the layer behind my photo, but that's okay. It's not that obvious. I did bring in a grey on grey pattern here. I just felt like I needed something. I didn't like the gap in between the two photos, so I've gone with this grey diagonal stripe, and that is where I'm going to start building my layout. What I do on one side, I'm going to try and match as best I can on the other side and go from there. Like I said, at this point I already had my title ready to go. I just needed to work out placement of my photos, work out placement of my title, and go from there. So there is my title. I did end up cutting one of the letters. It may have been the Z, I think, or an X. I cut like the little tail off one so that I could make an apostrophe. Is it an apostrophe? I think it's apostrophe, the word, the thing that I'm looking for. You know, that thing that you put before an S? Anyway, this is how much I remember from English. So my first idea was to go on the girl side with like the pinks and basically I was going to go pink and blue. And so I started by cutting some of these labels. Now this is the back side, I think, of the dark blue pattern paper there. And I go and I trim out a bunch of labels, and here I am just finishing those off. I did leave this in for you to see kind of where I went with it. And if you paid attention, you would have seen the finished layout already and see that not a single one of these gets used, but that's okay because I can use labels on just about anything. So I've got my three pink, and then I've got a purple, a light blue, and a dark blue. And you can see I'm just going to have a bit of a play here. I try a couple of things, and I think my problem with it is it's too boxy. I didn't like the way that it was looking. It was too boxy. I do try these in a different place as well. I didn't like how close those labels were to people's heads. And then when I tried the title on there, that didn't quite fit either. So I was like, right, okay, so I'm not going to use my labels, but what I am going to do is put my title down. So I start with putting the ampersand in the middle, and I'm using the ampersand from the thickers that I use for the bottom line. And here I go, sticking everything down. I do not make you watch all this because it is not fun. I did end up going back in with some of my Scotch tacky glue to stick all of that down. Because I used my Copics on it, they are not the most stickiest of stickers. So I did go back in with some Scotch tacky to stick all that down. So I'm playing with those labels again, really not sure. I then thought, okay, maybe I can bring them down to the bottom and add a little bit of journaling. I haven't done very much journaling on any of these pages, but like I've said in previous videos, I really don't feel like I need to. And I think that the title along with the photos on this is self-explanatory. So yeah, I decided I was going to bring in a metallic, and I've got these rose gold resin hearts. They've like got glitter in them. They are from Corbett Creations, which is a little Australian company. They've got some gorgeous products. And I only end up adding one of these, but you can see I'm just playing here. And I'm just, that one in the middle. That's all I'm going to run with. I just felt like that kind of balanced it. Anything else I felt was too close to someone's head or something like that. So I've got to this point and I'm like, what am I going to do? And I remembered that I had some of these florals left. Now this is from a really old Paige Evans collection, and I used up almost the entirety of this pack of florals that I have left, which makes me very happy. So I do leave in most of me shuffling pieces around, trying to get the placement correct. On the left, I end up with the pinks and reds and oranges and stuff, and then on the right, blues and yes, purples. I felt like the purples were almost a neutral. I could use them on either side. So there is, I think, one purple one on the left and then a couple on the right. And then I felt like I could use the greens as well, kind of as a neutral. So you can see I'm just playing with the florals that I've got here, moving them around, adding them in. And then off camera, I ink up all of the edges of them and stick them all down. Most of them get stuck at the edge closest to the photo so that I can lift up the other edge. And you can see I ended up choosing this particular collection to add because it's got the rose gold coloured accents in the leaves, which I thought matched the little heart really well. And I didn't have to then go searching for something else to add. So you can see I'm just building out my clusters here, trying to make them both look full enough without making them too full that they take over the page and take over from the photos. I am very aware as well, I'm not sure if you're the same, but I am very aware of any kind of trapped space. And you can see as I'm moving those florals around, there are little bits of black poking out from that cut file. That, see that little tiny bit that's there, and I don't love that. I don't like how it's just this little tiny piece of trapped black space. It's often called white space, but in this case it's black. So I am fiddling with them to cover up those awkward places, and everything here is stuck down now. Like I said, I have stuck pretty much most everything closest to the photos, and then added some foam tape at the pieces furthest away. Then I found a pink butterfly and a blue and purple butterfly. I've added one to the top left for the girls and one to the bottom right for the boys, and then that rainbow scallop border, which I thought was perfect along the bottom here. But then I have to try a couple of other things. Rainbow scallop border it is. And then I've got this one little puffy sticker. I think it says, "Oh, what a fun day." And we did have fun that day. And like I've said, I love the photos that we got from it. Just trying to work out if I want to add anything else. And I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. It feels pretty even to me. My cut file is not taking over. I did want it to really kind of just be part of the background. And then I have got this cheap little watercolor paint set from Kmart, and there's kind of a rose goldy color, second one from the end there, which I did do a little bit of experiment and test that on some scrap paper, and that was the closest match to the heart love, there we go, that I have on my page. And so I'm going to splatter that around and then call my page done. This was a super fun page to put together. It's funny how incorporating a little bit of yourself, you know, as in that really silly sense of humor, into a layout can make it so much fun, or maybe more sentimental, or whatever it is you're trying to incorporate. This is very, very much a me layout, and I really love it. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them below. I will make sure I link the cut file in the description box. And as always, thank you ever so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. I really do appreciate it. And as always, have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends. I will see you in my next video.